approached those wretched pavilions in the long light of the day's failing, coming up from the downwind along the south bank of the river, where they could smell the wood smoke of the cook fires. When the first dog barked, Glatton rowelled in his horse forward, and they came out of the trees and crossed the dry scrub, with the long necks of the horses leaning out of the dust of it, as hounds and the riders, courting them on into the sun, where the shapes of the women, rising up from their tasks, stood flat and rigid, in silhouette, for a moment. But before they could quite believe in the reality of that dust pandemonic pounding down upon them, they stood dumb, barefoot, clad in the unbleached cotton of the country. They clutched the cooking ladles, naked children. At the first fire, a dozen of them crumpled and fell. I
I was
mean,
about to
so far
say,
when I,
yeah. Oh, keep
oh,
going,
I'm
keep
sorry,
going.
what?
Sorry,
No,
I'm sorry. Go right ahead. I
well,
was mesmerized. Keep going.
I'm doing our book reading episode, right? Like, cause this, for our book stuff we've been doing for the podcast, I thought
No,
for
we're
our
gonna
book.
do that later. But you'd be like a
Wait, this
nor
isn't our book club episode?
no, no, no.
I've been reading The Blood Meridian for like a week now.
Well, we'll talk about it later.
Man,
I'd love
every
to talk about it later.
every time we have when I'm reading books, man. All right, what are we talking about? Jesus, what's more important than a book?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'll admit I was very captivated by your reading. You'd make a good audiobook reader, dude.
Thank you.
It's
My
why
wife
it
keeps
didn't.
telling
It's
me
why I
that.
didn't interrupt you this time.
But please tell me, what's more important than Blood Meridian? What is more important for this episode?
I mean, that is a very. You make a good point there. Unfortunately, there is something more. There's a lot of things that are more important. Um, let's talk about the news. Let's talk about war again.
Oh, yeah.
Because I guess we're still doing that. We're still doing that war thing
The war
with
thing?
the war
Hey,
thing in Iran.
that's a
That's
perfect shirt. America. We're still doing the war thing, right? We,
it's like the
we, hey,
that is like the story of that's like American history within my lifetime. My entire lifetime
yes,
is like, are we
yes.
still doing this war thing in the 21st century?
I swear, hey,
Okay.
since we kicked the ass out of the Nazis and the Japanese were like this, ooh, who next? Ooh. Ah.
We got to keep the war machine going, but we have nothing to do. We're bored. Can we shoot someone else, please?
Help us, Treyarch. Who can we shoot at? We
Call
need
yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's what that post-modern warfare, that's what Call of Duty exists to. It gives us ideas on who to bomb next.
And yet we'll never get a Korean War Call of Duty, which pisses me off. I want one so badly.
Lame. That's what they think. Like, well, that war's lame. It ended
Yeah.
after 3 years. There wasn't much to it.
Yeah, not like a lot of
Mm.
people died or anything, or they use dead bodies as sandbags. And, like, just boring.
There was a really good sitcom made out of it, and that was kind of
Yeah.
it.
And a good Gregory Peck film.
Uh-huh.
Can't forget about that. The news of the
So
war. What take of the war are we doing today, my good friend
oh,
Travis?
the story we keep hearing about is this ship named after Abraham Lincoln that apparently is like just the worst ship to be on. Actually, I got
Ah,
actually, you know what I got to look up? What kind of ship is this thing anyway?
see, it's a carrier, right?
Is it a carrier?
I believe it's a carrier.
Okay, it is a carrier. I thought I was just imagining that. It is a full-on aircraft carrier. Okay, that tracks.
Well, hey,
I
Lincoln,
the
Lincoln deserves a carrier.
well, yeah, yeah. Aren't like the carriers usually named after presidents too?
Well, except for the Midway and the
Oh, okay.
Enterprise.
That's
I
true.
think I
That's
think
true.
Bush Jr. Yeah.
I wasn't sure if like I wasn't sure if it was an aircraft carrier or if it was just the fact that I've been rewatching Battlestar Galactica, which is essentially about an
Yeah.
it's essentially about an aircraft carrier in space. Um, which,
Those are the best kind. Okay, the list of carriers. Okay, well, this is over history, isn't it? Okay, so we want stuff that's not decommissioned, which is a lot of them. There we go. One that's oh no, that didn't go well for that one. Didn't go well for that one either. Where's the current? Oh, here we go. Current list. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
The Nimitz, Dwight D. Eisenhower, Carl Vinson, Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln, the one we'll be talking about, folks, for this episode, George
Mhm.
Washington, John C. Stennis, Harry S. Truman, Ronald Reagan, George H.W. Bush, and of course, as we all love, Gerald R. Ford. There's also the John F. Kennedy, Enterprise, Doris Miller. We might want to talk about Doris Miller real quick if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did hear about
Yeah.
that too.
William J. Clinton, and another George W. Bush. Oh, that one's been ordered, so it's not ready yet.
Yeah, George
Two of them have been ordered. Two are under construction. One is about to be set for sale.
Dor
Okay.
so the Doris Miller, first of all, Doris is a man. That was a man's name.
Back then, men had those names. Like, hey, Ashley is a
Yeah.
traditional man's name.
Yeah. Yeah, I just learned
Oh
something new
God,
there.
what was John Voight's character's name in the Holes? It was a woman's name, but it was a
Oh
traditional man's
God.
name. Remember?
Oh God, I forgot about that.
You know, but right? Remember, no. There are some names that are just a traditional man's name.
But anyway, yeah, there's the USS Doris Miller, an aircraft carrier.
Marion.
Marion, that was his name. Um, okay.
Yeah.
Remember that? Remember there was a joke about that about the name Marion on Stargate Atlantis, where like there's like the one of the characters, he's like this like honorary scientist guy, Rodney McKay. Is like everyone knows him as Rodney, but then they introduce his sister on the show, and she calls him Marion because that's his actual first name,
Yeah.
and he's like super embarrassed by it, and everyone teases him for it. Yeah, okay, like just to check this off, since we're talking about buffoonery with the military, so we have I didn't hear about this until there was controversy. We have an aircraft carrier called the Doris Miller, which is named after a Black American sailor for his heroic actions during the attack on Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
And I guess the Navy wants to change that, which under the super anti-woke leadership of PD this is DOW Secretary PD Weedy, um, makes perfect sense because he hates black people and he hates women.
And
Um,
he hates washing his hands.
oh,
Have
really?
you-
Well, I mean that
oh, you
doesn't.
haven't heard that?
No, but
He said on Fox News, I don't think I've washed my hands in 7 years. There's no need to.
why does he use like? Please tell me he used wipes or like a fucking
Again,
Purell.
the quote is I haven't washed my hands in 7 years. There's no reason to.
God, what a fucking creep that guy. What a drunk creep that guy is. Um,
Well, he's
that
had
that,
three
that
wives. He's
it's like
had
you,
three
you ever just
wives.
like see a guy like a famous guy on TV and you're like, I would not want that man alone with an
Anyone.
underage relative of mine.
Or anyone. Anyone.
Yeah, or anyone. Yeah, yeah. Like just I would not feel comfortable with that man around
With
any
your
loved one
dog.
of mine.
With your dog.
Or with yeah, oh God. Well, I wouldn't allow anyone in this administration alone with my dog because Trump likes people that hates dogs, because he doesn't like them. But anyway, um, yeah. So according to the CNN exclusive, I guess they were the ones that broke this. They were looking to rename the ship for no good reason. Um, they haven't. Um, they haven't announced what they're naming it to, although the rumor is that they're going to name it after the president, which
It never happened.
generally, yeah, generally you're not supposed to name, or just I don't know if you're not supposed to, or if
No,
it's just been the
it's a tradition. You don't name a ship after a sitting president. Any
yeah,
ship. Any ship.
yes, yes.
Let
Um,
alone a fucking carrier.
which given that sea traditions are also filled with superstitions, um,
You mean like the
don't
Knicks?
it's
Cough, cough.
yeah, like I think that's just asking for that carrier to get sank. They
Hey,
that
that's when an
if
we'll
they
actually have
ever
footage of the Kraken. That's when we get actual footage of the
like if they rename it to the USS Donald Trump while Trump is still alive, I mean, in
No,
office.
no, no. While still in president, yeah, that's the thing. While still president.
I'm assuming he's not. I'm just assuming that old age is going to catch up to him before his term does. Um, then they better not send that to the Middle East because if they do, that's going to be like the one drone strike that like hits just right, like the Shahed drone that the little Shahed drone that could, and just some see because it's. And you know that them religious fundies in the Islamic Republic and the Islamic Republic of Iran are going to be like, think this is like divine intervention when that happens.
Dude, they think them getting bombarded is divine intervention. They're just fucking radicalized more and more.
This will, yeah, yeah. This is Allah's will, to fully destabilize the great Satan. Um, but that's not the big story. That's just like the
No.
little story that came along the way because a lot of people's attention are on. If they're not on poisoned food, they're on the Middle East, and particularly how our Navy is doing. And there's been, I got this article up from Military Times,
Yeah.
which I'm assuming is like something that people in the military read or people that are like, I don't know, vets or whatever read. Yeah, talking about like, um, it's like wives and parents of people on the USS Abraham Lincoln are coming forward and saying that they've been talking to their kids, they're talking to their loved ones, I should say, because that's more appropriate.
Yeah, let's hope a wife's not talking to her kid that she's Huh? But yeah, no, people are talking to their loved ones because guess what? Cell phones. Smartphones.
Yes. And they're like talking about shit that they really technically aren't supposed to be talking about. Like the kind of details about, but apparently, like there are people trying to like jump off the ship. Apparently, this craft is not had not like been docked or moored in like over 250 days. There is like supply issues. There's rationing problems, and
Plumbing,
it's just yeah, and then plumbing that they're
cleanliness,
they're probably gonna
everything.
have they probably have to use the bathroom like off the side of the ship. They just have to like press their butt outside the rail and just like put it in the sea. Um and they finally pulled this after there's been a lot of like bad press about it because of people speaking out. Um but what it demonstrates is that there's clearly like logistical problems that are happening over there
Oh God,
that
yeah.
that no one considered, or at least the people
They
that did consider
ignored,
it were not, yeah, they were ignored, or
ignored or fired. Yeah,
or
there you go.
fired. I remember
Magic
someone trying to make the
hat.
argument. It's like, why are you complaining about this? Is before we attacked Iran. Why are you complaining about the what they're doing with the military? Haven't you heard they're trying to shrink the military? And what it actually is that Hegseth is firing generals that are saying no to him. So and are probably in a better position to say it no to him. So it's like kind of trying to consolidate his authority more, and therefore probably getting rid of people who would have been the kind of people to say, "Now wait a second, how are we going to get food after? How are we going to resupply food? What's our supply lines? How are we going to re-up on weapons? How are we going to make sure
Because
we don't shoot all of our fucking missiles and run out and just be left with our dicks hanging out?"
an
Uh,
army moves on its stomach. Everyone forgets that. That's why wartime is so expensive. Because an army moves on its stomach.
I always think like how, because there's that one guy, I don't remember his name, but you know the clip, the guy who was on Fox News who had his legs blown off because
Oh
he
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah. He's a former, I think, Marine. I think,
in
I
in
think
either Iraq or Afghanistan, one of those, it doesn't
during the
matter.
yeah.
And he said, and he's like, these guys are. What's actually funny is that because I've heard some people saying that like alleging like the family members are overreacting, they're making shit up, they're just trying to get attention on the news. I've heard some people try to say like this story is bullshit, they're just trying to get attention. But this guy actually
Confirmed it.
legitimize the theory, the hypothesis, probably the truth that no, there's the complaints are actually coming from people serving on that ship and probably other ships. Um,
Yeah, no,
that the
there's actually
compl
nine total, I think, if I heard right.
and it's not that the complaints are fake because technically they're real. It's that he just thinks those sailors are a bunch of pussies. He's
Yeah.
like, man, you guys are in a war. You need to like, you're so worried about. He kept saying like, you guys are like keep wanting to have hot dogs, but you're at war. Like, man, he said this like really funny quote. Like, I would trade a hot dog for the C4 that blew my legs off. Um, and I'm thinking like, okay, but you were like serving on the ground in a country that was like full of insurgents, and therefore you had to worry about IEDs everywhere. These guys are not dealing.
With
I mean,
anything.
not to say that like they're not at risk of like casualty, because obviously there are people that
Oh, of course, of
died.
course.
Um,
But they're far away from from the front line.
yeah, this isn't a ground invasion.
Yeah,
They're just
well,
like
yeah,
they're out.
right.
Not yeah, yeah. Yeah, we still haven't pulled the trigger on the ground invasion, probably because everyone knows like that'll be a disaster. I can only assume Pete Hegseth is rationalizing it in his drunken stupors that he has every day as, well, we're not ready for that. But we will be. We will be, which is kind of like when which makes about as much sense as OpenAI saying, "Oh, we canceled, we're pushing back our IPO because we're not ready for it." But we will be. We will be for that $1 trillion IPO. That's another subject. Um, so anyway, like like this attitude of like, okay, but like they're on a ship. Like they're on a fucking ship. They're not in enemy territory. They're not like on their own. It's not us. They're not facing the enemy head on.
Yeah, this isn't broadside fucking combat,
They're the ones bringing the firepower here. Um and like
supposedly.
as far as we know, yeah, yeah. It's not like we're not hearing about ships sinking,
Right.
right? Like and I'm
Right.
assuming.
No, but
I mean,
right.
yeah, right, right. Like it's not like they're facing against like the Japanese Navy.
Yeah, I know. Like this isn't Midway. This isn't
Yeah,
Midway.
yeah. This is not Midway. This is not what's going on at all. Like they're just sitting at their boats and they don't know what they're doing. They're like, all right, I guess we'll bomb this next.
This
All
isn't
right,
when the
wait,
fuck
or
yeah.
we'll
This
bomb
isn't
that
like
next.
this isn't like during even the Civil War when when the Confederacy and the Union went fucking broadside in the Gulf of Mexico.
So you know, like I'm not saying like they should be eating like steak dinners every single day, but if it's going to be compared to other naval conflicts that we've had in the past, they are in somewhat of a state of comfort, or they're in a state of they're seeing less action. So why then this idea that supply problems are like, well, that's you just got to have it tough. You just got to deal with it, man. Like, well, if you're stuck on a ship, what
The
are you gonna
the
do?
Yeah, and also too, when you compare it to like you saying the past of our naval engagements, okay, let's take World War II because that was, let's be honest, that was the last time the Navy was actually fully used. Really,
Yeah,
nothing against anyone who served in a naval vessel in Nam, Korea, and everything that's happening in the Middle East, but it's very different than going toe to toe with the Japanese Navy and the U-boats in fucking the European theater. They were still had food. There was
yeah.
food. Like there was not this like this, here's your tray, but you get like this tiny little scoop of shredded meat and two tortillas. No, your tray was full. Like everything I remember from reading about World War II, there was never any supply problems with our Navy. There was ammunition problems at times, sure, but never food.
Since we're okay, I got the name because we're kind of going on this thread of what this guy
Oh
should probably
yeah,
drop him. Joey Jones. Really?
J
That's his
J J
fucking
J J.
JJ? Yeah, yeah, J
His you're saying
Jones.
his nickname is basically what the shape of his prosthetic legs are. Yeah, I said it. I said it.
Joey Jones. That name is like okay, like Stan Lee would look at that name and be like, try harder. Okay, you fucking kidding me? Now, J. Jonah Jameson, that is a name, but Joey Jones, come on, bro.
Hey, here's a callback. JJ the Jet Blade. That's me.
I'm sure that JJ and JJ Abrams is a much more interesting JJ than Joey Jones, but all right. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna yeah, sometimes you get a corn dog,
Well,
sometimes you get a hot dog. You know
yeah,
what yeah, he said, yeah. So that little, you know what I ate in Afghanistan for 6 months using a little burner? I ate ramen noodles. That's what I ate. And I was happy to have it because the alternative was an MRE or something cooked by the Afghan guy who was too stupid to be given a gun. They let him be the cook.
yeah. The thing about that though is here's the thing though, and I hope people are smart enough to realize, as we now know after so many years of that bullshit Afghan war, we sent in our troops half prepared and half supplied.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's something to brag about. It wasn't like you're in the thick of like frontline combat where you're, doing your week on the line of like constant bombarding and shelling and just fighting and no sleep. It's like, no, dude, you just were sent in undersupplied because Bush was also a dipshit. The Bush administration was stupid, and they sent all our men in the Middle East half prepared, half supplied. If I remember right, because thank God I fucking read and listen to shit. When the first USO tours happened, Ralphie May was one of the big ones there. He found out that all the Humvees had no doors, and he was kind of like, "Huh, that's interesting. Why the
Mm-hmm.
fuck do you guys not have doors on these things? You know how bullets work, right?" Yeah, no, it's on YouTube. You can find a stand-up bit about being there, and he was actually going like, "So you're saying to me we treat our fucking prisoners in America in our jails way better than you guys? All right, cool. That's great." No,
But there's
so JJ can brag all he wants about going through it like a big macho man. Your
I
government
think
didn't
he
give a
was going through it on the
shit.
broadcast there. Like,
Yeah,
I think he needs to talk to a therapist or
he did
something.
because guess what, JJ? No, the Bush administration just didn't give a shit about you and purposely sent you underfunded, underprepared, undersupplied, and not knowing shit. And that's why we lost so many people over there and why
It
it's a clusterfuck.
it's just amazing. Yeah, he says, "How weak are you?" on TV complaining about tuna and noodles. I'm sorry, you volunteered to serve your country. You can come back, get out of the military, and do like all of these Democrat veterans do and complain about it and make commercials and be sellouts if you want to. The whole like "how weak are you" bit is like, okay,
Disrespectful.
I think he's trying to do a thing.
He got
It is
paid. He
it's
got
oh
paid.
yeah, he's being paid. He's being paid to spill propaganda. That's what you do when you're on Fox News. But just like I think he's trying to do a thing that Fox News viewers love to see, which is complaining about the younger generation. You know, I think it's supposed to be like boomer bait,
Hmm.
but you're not talking about like college kids with blue hair with a free Palestine flag, okay? You're talking about people in the Navy and you're talking about
The
uniformed
Navy.
men and women in our armed forces. And so it's like, okay, if morale is really that bad on like pretty on probably most of the ships over there, let's be real. If morale is that bad, whose responsibility is that? At a certain like
Oh,
you can't like blame that on the soldiers. That goes to upper management.
of course it
If
does.
you're going to make the argument that like, wow, the people in our military are soft compared to back in my day, as like, you know, when people talk about being in the military, especially if they talk about like being in the Marines or the SEALs or whatever, they talk a lot about like you're trained to like operate as a like multiple people as one unit. You're
Yeah.
basically like trained to lose your individuality and work as efficiently impossible to serve the armed forces and serve your country. So it's like this idea of like blaming to me this whole thing about like blaming like individual emotion petty emotions and like all these soldiers just have these like prissy little emotions like it doesn't really drive. It's like, okay, well, who's were they not trained well? Were they not like again, I'm going by I think what he's saying is bullshit, but I'm trying to deconstruct his bullshit logic. It's like, okay, are they not being trained well? Are we because again, it's like I mean, I could say recruiting, they haven't recruited the right people, but like, okay, well, why didn't we weed them out?
I
Why didn't we
know. Come,
discharge them?
come on, Pete. I thought our military was awesome again.
Yeah, what about the badass war fight you what about our war fighters? Like I thought we had the best war fighters in the world. You know, the war fighters. You love to use that word, Pete. Um, dude, I saw oh God, I saw I literally a Department of War commercial when I went to see Spider-Man
Yeah.
Brand New Day. I think half the images used AI too,
Yeah.
which like a fucking course. But they used the word war fighters. And I was like, as if Department of War wasn't cringy enough, like hearing that terminology warfighters made me cringe so bad in the theater. But like, you know, okay, like going by what little Joey says there, it's two options. Obviously, the complaints are real. Like you cave to that. The complaints are real. So
You're
which is
acknowledging
it?
it. You're
Which is it?
acknowledging
Are
it.
we not training our soldiers to like get a grip? Or are we not taking care of them properly?
Because they're not
Because no
even on the
matter
front lines. They're not on the front lines. That's the
Be-
thing.
yeah, because no matter how you dice it, it all goes back to upper management. And, the more I look at this, the more I'm just going to say this. If this is how our military was run in the 40s, we'd be speaking German.
No,
Or,
on this side
well,
of
or
the
maybe on
country.
this side of the country, we'd be speaking Japanese. So maybe that's more accurate. Because, like, this is
Hey, I'll say this. I'll
ridiculous.
say this though. I think I'd look good in a Komodo. Just want to throw it out there.
I think I would look good in a kimono too. I
Hey,
think
hey, the anime would be insane when you think about it.
Oh, we wouldn't have anime.
Oh, that's
Anime
right.
anime exists because we forced Japan to not have a military, so they had to
Oh,
put that money somewhere else,
so
and
what do we?
then they ended up creating crazy, weird, good entertainment and art.
Right, so damn it! Wow. So what would we get? We would be have a boring lifestyle, huh? Son of a bitch. Well, at least we get to fight the Nazis again, right? We get a round two with the Japanese help. But yeah,
Well,
no,
that's true. They would turn on each other. Yeah.
no. If our Navy was like it was either like this or going through this, we would have lost every naval engagement in the Pacific theater because that shit was insane. Traveling the Pacific back then was like this. Yeah, there are sharks everywhere. Be
I don't
careful.
think we would have blown all our ammunition on like useless targets that didn't advance us any closer to
No,
our goals.
no, we
I don't think we would. I think we would have been a lot more. If something didn't work, we would have abandoned the strategy and tried something else. And they had to fucking island hop, okay?
Yeah, island hop with old school radar blips.
Oh God.
Yeah, because everyone knows how Guadalcanal went. Turned out it was like, hey, we got this. Oh no.
Now we aren't obviously we are not military experts. We are not veterans. We are a bunch of nobodies who don't actually know anything. But as a bunch of nobodies who don't actually know anything, per the mantra, give us the launch codes. Um, it does make you go back and think about the myths you were sold about the military. Even if you were like, a lib and you were like, well, I don't think we should spend as much on the military as we should, and I don't think we should be involved in the conflicts that we should. You at least had this like idea inside you like, well, at least we're spending since we are spending this much in the military, I don't have to worry about like what would happen if someone tried to invade us. Like I can sleep soundly at night knowing that we have so surely the money is going to having more than enough to defend the country, right? And then you find out that like our entire supply of a specific kind of missile was blown in this one like conflict somewhere over yonder, and we blew all our missiles there, and it didn't get anywhere closer to achieving the goals of the conflict, regardless of how you feel of said conflict. It's like, well, fuck, if we can't even do that right, how well defended are we? We
We're
live on the
not.
coast, man.
We're not.
We live on the fucking coast. The beach is like 10 minute a 10-minute drive from my house. Like I come home and like sometimes if the winds blow the right way, I can smell the seawater and it's so nice and relaxing. I'm so close to water. Dude, if the nukes drop, if they're not gonna drop on not Long Beach, they're gonna drop somewhere very close to Long Beach, okay?
I can see Catalina from my house. No,
I mean, if I go to Belmont, yeah, I kind of can see. It's not hard.
yeah.
On a clear day,
Well,
yeah, I could see Catalina.
this is what you said. Deconstructing Joey's thing is like this. Okay, first off, hey, we're all admitting it. We're at a war. Because remember, for the first 2 months, it's like we're not at war. We're not at war. We're not at war. So we're all at a war. We're in a war. Good to
Yeah,
know. We can agree on that finally. And I love how now it's just like this. Oh yeah, you Navy guys are just a bunch of pussies. You're just a bunch of pussies. It's like this. Huh. I thought we supported all our military. I thought you would think like interesting because again, smartphones. Family members are seeing what their kids and their loved ones are being fed. The state of the ship, it's not even clean. It looks like a prison movie in there. The toilets and fucking showers look like the inside of a prison set for a TV show. I
yeah.
thought I was watching Southland for a second. Seriously. I really thought I was. I'm like this. Oh, I remember this scene in Sons of Anarchy. Yeah, okay, someone's getting raped, and this is where the rape happens. Now,
Opie's getting offed in that room over there.
you can hear the crying and screaming. It's like Shawshank. I'm like, Jesus, dude. It's like it's again the also to all our ships because I thought the Strait of Hormuz. I thought we owned it. They're safe. They're not on frontline combat. This isn't again like being on the front lines of a war zone with constant bombardment and shelling and shit hitting the fan and dead bodies everywhere. No, they're in the water. They're in the ocean where we have it under control, right, Travis? We own the strait, right, Travis?
It's going to be a U.S. territory.
Exactly.
A body of water is going to be a U.S. territory. That is what the president said
That's what
not
I'm
too long
saying.
ago.
And this is what it is. It's a supply chain issue.
It's the new Puerto
There's
Rico.
You've never heard any World War II story. Again, I'm saying World War II because that was the last time the Navy was actually really, really fucking used. There was
Hmm.
never a supply issue. There was always food. Maybe not ammo, sure. Because I know how crazy we were shelling those islands at one point, especially with Iwo Jima. By the way, we were supposed to shell it for 10 days, not three. Cough, cough. Um, Upper management. We had food. The men had food. The men had food.
Yeah.
Constant food. And the tray was full. Like that's the thing. They would, but we're here now, and we're seeing it, and we're seeing that we are way over our heads. That probably because of all the budget cuts to help out with the woke money, someone who was in charge of supplies was cut off,
This is yeah,
fired.
this is the non-woke military, everybody.
Yeah,
This is what you
they
asked for. This is what you voted for.
yeah, and now
Uh,
this and if this wasn't a real issue, why is this ship coming home? And also, too, this is what's interesting. The Strait of Hormuz, guess where it's coming home from, Travis? Guess where it's going to be docking when it comes to America? Do you know where?
where?
California. It's coming home to California. It's got a long ways to go. A long ways to go, interestingly.
Touching
So,
down in San Diego, you
so
know?
why is that a problem then? And then again, why is it going to the most quote unquote wokest communist state in America? Shouldn't it go to Texas?
In fairness, it'll probably dock at San Diego, which is kind of a more conservative city. So,
But you get what I mean, though. You get what I mean. Everything about this is all bullshit. These people aren't being taken care of because we went way in over our heads. They're again undersupplied, underprepared, under everything. They have no idea what was going on. We heard stories too when the Armada was heading over there, people were already trying to sabotage it because they wanted nothing to do with this because they knew it was all bullshit war. Now that they're there, they're jumping ship. They're trying to anyway. Why? If it wasn't a problem, again, if it wasn't a problem, why is the ship coming home?
the
And
only
why
thing I
and why won't Petey Weedy visit them and raise the morale?
Yeah, no, like seriously, the only reason I can assume Trump has not done a like mission accomplished press conference is simply because Bush did that and now that's like a meme. That's like a joke. So I can only assume someone told him like, Mr. President, you probably shouldn't do that because Bush did that. And actually, probably just knowing that another president did that, he's like, well, I don't want to do it. Bush was lame. Bush was weak.
I heard also
I'm
too
I'm
that,
better than him. I'm not gonna
well,
do what he did.
well, first of all, everyone's better than Bush. The bar's really low. But the thing is, like, oh, and I've been hearing now that everyone on serving on board the Lincoln to get off the ship, they're going to be forced to sign an NDA.
Yeah, like an NDA. I'd be curious to like see that and compare that because I'm sure. Because as I said before, like they probably weren't supposed to be texting their families about what was going on, like
Oh, they're not even texting. They're live streaming it on fucking TikTok.
yeah, like OPSEC shit,
But they are.
So
They are. They all are.
the NDA. That's got to be like an iron. That's got to be like a very ironclad NDA. I'm sure PD Weedy's got some of Trump's best lawyers to work on that.
I want those people all in front of a camera. I want to hear it. They
Now,
won't.
I just had to look up like what JJ is from, what he served with for specifically, and it was the Marine Corps. So
Yeah.
I'm just gonna assume that this is like some petty like, well, I'm a Marine, I'm better than those seaman fucks.
Yeah, but again,
I'm just gonna assume a lot of it is just that.
you don't need to be that smart though to realize that he was literally in the shit. Again,
Yeah.
undersupplied, underprepared.
Oh yeah.
But again, he was literally in the shitter.
Hmm.
These guys aren't. Because again, we were open about the fact of how chaotic it was in Afghanistan and Iraq. We were. We knew it was crazy and like everyone was like you were surrounded by enemies and all the crazy bullshit of it all. But this was, remember, as Trump has said, we own the strait. We're running the strait. There's nothing to worry about. There's no front line. We're kicking ass. We're beating the shit out of Iran. We're bombing the hell out of them. We're fucking them up.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't. It's okay.
Sure.
Dan, I wasn't this dumb when I played Risk. Jesus. Like fuck, man, this is like Risk 101. This is Battleship 101. Like this is some like, dude, what are you doing? Have you It's like, man, Pete, play an RTS. Just play like Command and Conquer 3, please, for God's sake.
I knew when an advance wasn't working in Risk because the dice weren't in my favor to like kind of like stop and regroup and like fortify.
Yes. That's
And
what
it's
you
like, oh,
do.
okay, I'm gonna try a different tact. I'm gonna try to find another vulnerable spot to gain territory.
It's fucking stupid.
Hmm.
I it's just disappointing. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing on the global stage. These people running the country have no idea about optics, about how the social media works, and they can't stop it no matter how many of their tech bros buddies are buying up apps.
Yep.
But it's out there. The word's out there. We fucked up. We fucked up very badly. And imagine now if we send in ground troops.
This is like a zombie war because we've already lost, but we just refuse to admit that we lost. So like, and you know, we refuse to admit we've lost because we have a brain damaged president, um, who doesn't want to admit defeat, and except when he does want
Well,
to admit defeat, and Iran, by this point, they're like, well, you've gypped us multiple times, so we're not going to accept your terms of surrender. Fuck you. We're going to squeeze your dick harder to make you suffer even more. Have fun with $10 of gas, bitch.
oh yeah, I watched that fucking rally he had about like, I don't care. Like, you'll be paying it. You're fine. Pay the gas.
It's because he's not filling up the gas. He's
He's
got
never he's
people.
never touched a pump before in his
He's
life, dude.
never been to a gas station before.
There's
I can tell
no
you
way.
that. He
No
has
fucking
never
way.
he's never experienced the awkwardness of going to a gas station and you're just like around a bunch of strangers who are like, what's up? What's up? Maybe you have to go to the bathroom and the bathroom isn't really nice.
He's never
Um,
been to a fucking 7-Eleven.
yeah.
No, it's just out of touch people running the country, playing with our lives. And it's not even wintertime yet.
And it's also going to get very hot very soon. Just
Yeah,
a
you
warning.
heard about the power grid stories coming up around now?
At my job, which I won't say what I do for my job, but at my job there was a power surge where like the electronics went off for a second. And I won't say what I was doing, but let's just say it kind of messed up a task I was doing.
Hmm.
I where I had to do kind of a full reset on certain things. Um, yeah,
There's a no. I'm talking about how the fact that if something happens to the U.S. electrical grid, that will be in the black for about 18 months straight. There's a city in Indiana who's been out of power for 2 weeks now.
yeah, Gary, Indiana,
Yep, and there's
the
no news
one
cut,
the one the Music Man sang
no
about.
really news coverage on it right now, which is interesting.
Not a lot of
Yeah,
national news
and
anyway.
apparently they're also saying that the way our electrical grid is so vulnerable, a 12-year-old could hack it. It's gonna get fun. It's gonna get real fun real quick for this fucking holiday. And we all know it's gonna be so hot because we'll be wearing shorts on Christmas. It's gonna be that fucking Christmas again. I remember fucking '09.
Yeah, it doesn't hit right when you gotta wear shorts when you wear shorts on Christmas. It doesn't.
Yeah. Then think about that though. 18 months in the black.
I hope it rains on Christmas. I like it's the closest thing you get to like snowfall on Christmas out here, but at least when it rains, it's like
Nice and crisp and
there
cold, but it won't be.
yeah,
It
yeah.
won't. It won't.
At least there's this like illusion of coziness when you're inside with your family. Uh, uh, yeah,
Yeah, it's a fun
just
episode.
another story about how things are falling apart. Enjoy the
Little
rest
by
of the summer, everybody.
Yeah, little by little. Yeah, happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Give Us the Launch Codes. You know where to find us. And hey, like in the Navy, like Joey would say about the Navy, we're on Grinder.
Nice, nice.
So, is that? I think that's us, Travis. Is
That's
that?
that. That's us.
All right.
That's us for
Well,
this
I'm
week.
Tom,
I'm Travis.
and to close us out,
Ooh,
they paused without the cantina and pooled their coins, and Toadvine pushed aside the dried cowhide that hung for a door, and they entered the place where all was darkness and without definition. A lone lamp hung from a cross tree in the ceiling, and in the shadows dark figures sat, smoking. They made their way across the room to the clay-tiled bar. The place reeked of wood smoke and sweat. A thin little man appeared before them and placed his hands ceremonially upon the tiles. Dig
hi-
him, he said.
hire this man for your next audiobook. I urge you.
This book will never be made into a movie, by the way, and we all know why.
For those of you listening, he's referring to Blood Meridian by Cormac McCarthy.
Yes, he made The Road and No Country for Old Men, for example, and we all know those two movies.
Yeah,
Um,
one of the modern greats in America literature.
everyone, yeah, just there's a famous saying. If you would think that, oh, sure, what's that famous line I've been hearing a lot, and we all heard it? It's surely the government wouldn't do that. It's like, yes, Fred, it would. The government surely would be doing this crap. Enjoy, everybody.
Bye, everyone.